Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, Clark Judge, Pete Prisco. Glad to be with you here from Raymond James Stadium. Media Day, the week of Super Bowl XLIII between Pittsburgh and Arizona. We'll be with you all week long here on CBSSports.com. It's countdown to kickoff, breaking down the game. Let's get a pregame analysis, though, early week analysis of the game. And, of course, we've had 9 days to break this down since the Cardinals and the Steelers won the championship games. When you look at this, what do you think it all comes down to on Sunday?
Well, I'm doing from the Pittsburgh end, and to me it all comes down to stopping Larry Fitzgerald. Nobody's done it. I mean, Atlanta hasn't done it. Carolina certainly couldn't do it. I thought Jim Johnson in Philadelphia could. They couldn't either. So it's up to Dick LeBeau, and Dick LeBeau is a terrific defensive coordinator. He's one of the oldest coaches in the business, and he's certainly one of the best in the business. I think he'll figure out a way to get to Kurt Warner, a way to disrupt the rhythm, and a way to at least keep Larry Fitzgerald under wraps.
Pete, you've got the Cardinals. What's it come down to on their side?
I think it's blocking that blitz. If you block the blitz, get the ball out, you're going to get big play opportunities down the field. And he said nobody stopped Larry Fitzgerald. If you're going to blitz Kurt Warner, that means you're going to leave Larry Fitzgerald singled a lot of the time unless you're in a zone blitz, and I'll take my chances with Larry Fitzgerald singled against anybody.
You know, one of the things that was talked about all day here at Media Day, and of course the last 9 days leading up to Media Day, is the experience of the Steelers, the lack thereof of the Cardinals. But now that we're actually here and everybody starts practicing on Wednesday, does that play a role?
Well, I think it plays somewhat of a role because you look at the most important position on the field as quarterback. Who's got the most experience in this game? It's Kurt Warner. It's not Ben Roethlisberger. They've both been there before. So I think that's a little bit of a wash. If anything, it's an edge to Arizona. But now start working your way down the line. You've got Pittsburgh Steelers who've been here and not too long ago. So they know what's at stake here. They know about the distractions. They know how to behave, and they know how to win. I do think that counts for a lot.
You know, it's the first Super Bowl with two quarterbacks already with a Super Bowl victory under their belt since Super Bowl XVIII 25 years ago. Also here in Tampa. Pete, the other part to this that's been talked about coming into Tampa is not the experience factor, but the coaching factor. The fact that Ken Whisenhunt, Russ Grimm, they were with Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin got the job. They did not. Does that play a role at all in your mind?
No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe a little bit, but like, people think that there's no secret. There are secrets in the NFL. There are no secrets. This is, believe me, everybody knows what everybody else does. They've been looking at the tape of those teams for the last 2 weeks, dissecting them every way imaginable. If you think you got an advantage just because you coach on that staff, then I think you're mistaken.
Ken Whisenhunt knows the Steelers' defense. He was the offensive coordinator. Do you think he'll be able to find holes in that defense?
Well, I think you'll find some holes, but Dick LeBeau knows Ken Whisenhunt, too. I mean, they were on the same team for years. They practiced against each other. I think they know each other's tendencies. I'll guarantee you both these guys will dial up something new for this ball game. Dick LeBeau has a history of playing big in big games. His guys get to quarterbacks. They are effective with their blitzes, and I think they're effective at getting to quarterbacks like Kurt Warner. If that doesn't happen here, yeah, Ken Whisenhunt, all the credit in the world to him because he's done a terrific job, and so is his offensive coordinator, Todd Haley, at this point.
And that brings me to Todd Haley because Todd Haley calls the plays. Ken Whisenhunt doesn't call the plays. So Todd Haley doesn't know the Steelers that well, but Todd Haley will call the plays on Sunday.
All right, real quickly, guys, there's a wide variety in terms of what people think is going to happen on Sunday. Some people think it'll be close. There are some people who think you're going to get the Cardinals upset, and then there are a lot of people who think you're going to have a Steelers blowout. What do you guys think?
Well, I stick with my man Pete here all the time because he's been picking the Cardinals all the way. I've been against him all the time here. And he's been right, and he was right about the Giants last year. But, you know, that said, I still like the better team. I don't like the momentum here. I like the better team.
See,
Pittsburgh's a better team.
I think it's a rolling ball of thunder that cannot be stopped. I always lean to the offense. When in doubt, go to the passing team, and I'm going to the passing team.
All right. Well, he's taking the Cardinals. We'll see. Well, you know what he's taking then in Pete's picks because they're not the favorite. They're the underdog.
You're right, but maybe on the money line.
Well, we'll see.
Defense wins championships, huh?
Well, that's not always true.
Well,
Didn't win last year.
But the Giants
No,
did
the
step it up.
quarterback won it last year.
We'll get all these arguments played out. We'll sort through every single one on Countdown to Kickoff all week long here on CBSSports.com. We will go through Pete's picks, his final one of the year, unless for some reason he decides to pick the Pro Bowl. Go with the West, the AFC, if you will, unless you're taking the East-West game. Well, you can't take the Shrine Bowl.
The NBA. You're ahead of the NBA.
We had the NHL All-Star game the other day as well. All of that's coming this week. Countdown to Kickoff. Marv Levy, Brandon Jacobs, Boomer Esiason, and Darryl Green. They'll join us here on CBSSports.com. Clark Judge and Pete Prisco. I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.